Kelly's stories are incredible, especially coming from Jack Robinson, the local here at the Margaret River Pro, reflecting back on a 10-point ride from Kelly. We already got this heat started. We're in the men's elimination round. Jadson André, Kelly Slater, and a wild card named Jack Thomas. This was the yelling up surfer getting a start against a couple of his heroes here.
Yeah, wow, he had to really bring that one way back. He looked like he was gone for all money.
And then tapped it right there in the pocket, had a little bit of an end section to work with, so hung in there to try to show the judges he had control. Now here comes Jadson in motion. André looking for a big result to stay on tour. Nice control off the lip, bottom drops out. Under the lip hook to finish when he had to go upside down in the curl of the wave. That was impressive positioning for André.
And here we see Jadson. This is a pretty interesting ride. You just know Jadson's going to fight like a wounded tiger in this heat.
And then how does he manage the finish, Bugs?
Oh, that's unbelievable. Upside down. He must get rewarded for that. This is such a degree of difficulty that is just completely upside down, thrown out with the lip. And the beauty about that is that he went with the lip. He didn't try to overpower it. But he came from such an acute angle. It was a radical maneuver.
He ends up on top. Kelly up and down into a layback, stays in motion of the wave. Opting to switch to the thruster today. He'll manage to stay on his feet. That closeout section almost impossible without a transition to get to the top of the wave. These guys doing well to stay on their board. Well, this man can bend still at 50 years of age. Let's have another look.
He went vertical, and then, I mean, it was a layback by, not by design, I'd say, Joe, and then he finishes it here. This is a tough section too. He had
priorities with Jack Thomas. Decision time. You can see the left and the right here at main break. It'll be Jadson André getting down the line. First section, vertical whip, incomplete. As we have a paddle for Jack Thomas. Fading to start. First snap, solid off the top. Frames it up in the pocket once again. Sweeping down to the bottom and frames.
And he tucks under the lip there, comes around this section. That's his strongest move. And again, another sort of a softer move here. And then the finish, Joe, you know, he does finish it well. Held back a little bit on that one.
Kelly up, sets up with an open face hook. Top turn wrap, he will take the drop down to the bottom. Nice clean snap, fitting in a variety of maneuvers. Running out of water on the inside shelf, but he will improve on his backup score.
Kelly's wave's another interesting one. This hook here is pretty solid in a really steep part of the wave. And then he does a series of comes over as a ledgy section. That's a great snap.
Jaddy taking off behind the peak. Quick bottom turn, swift backhand wrap. Sneaks in another top turn, and the Brazilian from Natal City is framing up a vertical and stepping off. World number 28, looking for a big result. Jadson had a 5.5 before that. That'll be into his top two for the time being.
And Kelly's waves are pretty interesting, and this one of Jadson, again, it just sort of runs out of steepness, Joe. It's a well-surfed wave. I guess the one thing on the back end, that's a sort of a
out there on Apple TV Plus. Back to this one. We had some action, starting with Jack Thomas here.
Yeah, well, Jack, he's found himself in second place now. And he's really trying to, you know, get into that 5 or 6 point range. That's real local knowledge. He just avoided that little outcrop. And Kelly, again, tries to do a major recovery.
Yeah, it definitely seems like no matter what happens for Jadson and throughout this event, that he still has plenty of time left to put himself in a position to compete on the top 34. Sweeps down to the bottom. Quickly to the lip is Jadson André. Just needed a 3.27. And now it's Kelly's turn. Styles his way through that open face hook once again. Right into a wrap. That's been his combination of choice. in this heat. Drives through that end section. He's down. Kelly peaked at the 5.7. His low score of 4.10 in an incredibly close heat in the first heat of the elimination round. Jadson trying to keep his spot on tour to win heats and take him out, and then Kelly accomplished that in back-to-back seasons. As we look at Kelly checking out a main break left, of course he wants to get barreled. That one's going to shut down. As we go back to Jack Thomas. Clean arc to start for the Yelling Up local. Carves it back down to the bottom. There's the lip. Squares it up more vertically. Stays on his feet.
Well, that exchange there, we saw Kelly Slater going left and tucking in. It looked like a great barrel to start with, but it just clips and clamps so quickly, but then quickly turns into the burger. And this wave here, Joe, this is interesting, Joe, because it's this exchange. Jack Thomas definitely gets the best on that right-hander.
So she has an amazing career that's really just beginning. We'll catch up to a lively Kelly Slater, finishing up his 7th wave of this matchup with 3:10 to go, looking to improve on his 4.97. Kelly taking a look under priority to see if he can make some improvements here. Float to get this one started, and he's out of there. Nothing changing for his top two.
For I think just this last wave, and Jadson's going to get it.
Jadson André will use his priority to keep off Jack Thomas. Setting up his bottom turn. Beautiful arc to start for André. Squares up more vertically on the second effort. Driving hard into this rapid cutback. A solid performance for Jadson André from start to finish. Remember, 28th in the world. He's got to move ahead in the top 22 to make it to G-Land and beyond. Kelly moves on in second, and we lose the wild card, Jack Thomas, in third place.